Welcome to the Porn Stars Are People podcast. I'm here with Gia Love. Thank you for.
Oh, sorry.
She's like,
Yeah.
just holding the mic. Thank you for meeting me. We're amidst the Exotica weekend.
Yes.
This is my first Exotica.
Oh boy, this is my first Exotica in New Jersey.
What do you?
I went to the one in Denver earlier this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you compare them?
This one's way bigger.
Yeah.
Like, at least like in attendance. The Denver one was kind of like, it was small in attendance.
Yeah.
It was the first year. This was the first year that they went to Denver.
Yeah. So and somebody was saying it was like kind of like there was one day or it was kind of busy and the rest of it was just kind of like this very relaxed.
It's the same for basically any convention that I've ever gone to.
Yeah.
I've been to the fetish conventions, adult conventions, fan conventions.
Yeah.
And Friday's pretty big day.
Yeah.
Saturday's always the biggest day.
The nuts,
always the biggest day. And then Sunday's always the slowest day.
Sunday.
So today is going to be just a small amount of people, or maybe the people that didn't want to deal with the large crowds.
Yeah.
But a lot of the vendors or like the big name stars probably won't be there.
That's what I find for, like, I used to go to a lot of car shows, and I always get bummed out because my father was working the weekends, and I was going to go with my dad, and we try to go Sunday, and half the cars are gone, and I'm like,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Eventually I'm like, Dad, I got to go on Saturday. Listen, you can't make it, you can't come.
That's when where the big name cars are, the big contests. Yeah. That's when all the events are, because, people are off work.
Whenever I can't get anybody out for, like, a Sunday show, too, I do that thing where I just go, well, Sunday's God's day. That's what happened. It's God's day. And it actually is weird out here because I don't know how all the blue laws work. So I live in New Jersey, and there are a couple counties in New Jersey where they don't open up restaurants, bars, anything like that on Sunday at all because of the blue laws. I don't know, and I think it's based in this idea of Sunday being religious day.
Right.
So I don't know how
really
Edison
religious.
Is.
Like area that you live in, or
No. I live in Hoboken. I live in New York City. It's madness, chaos all the time.
Okay. I love New York.
Bergen County, for some reason, and it's where
Is that here?
Somewhere some of the richer people. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. I don't know what county we're in. So I haven't driven around and figured out whether or not anything's even open today.
Oh, I haven't tried to buy. I get my own liquor. Like
not even liquor. Like the gas stations are closed, regular restaurants are closed. Like everything's closed. Fucking IKEA's closed. Like they don't want anybody doing anything
on Sunday besides church.
So I don't. So I don't know if we're in that county or not.
You will spend time with your family.
Sunday.
Sunday, monster trucks.
So you told me you're in Tampa.
Yes.
You've been there for
basically my whole life.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Tampa?
I love my grungy city.
What's like the takeaway for people? I spend probably, I want to say 12 hours in Tampa.
Yeah.
So far, that's
it. Ever?
I basically just went to Tampa to interview
you come
the
to
girls.
Tampa, you gotta let me know.
Yeah.
I know the ins and outs of the city. I know the places you want to go. Like you tell me, I'm feeling this kind of scene, or I want to do this or that. I'll be like, I got you.
Tampa tour guide. All right.
Oh
shit.
Man, yeah. I know the whole area. I know everything like that, and I have fun in my city.
Yeah.
I have models will come in from out of town, or friends will come in from out of town. Like, come hang out with me. I'll show you a good time. I want to give people a good impression of Tampa because I love it so much.
Right.
Yeah.
It is tough too, because you get this thing when you travel where people want to figure out what your city is. The thing that I run into is because I just for ease I just go, I live in New York City. And I live in Hoboken, which is right there. It's next to it. But what happens is I run into this a lot. I'll be in Iowa.
Right.
And I'll say to somebody, I live in New York City. They're like, oh, what's it like? Like, what's the Bronx? Like, where's Staten Island? Like, where do you live?
A map? I mean.
Yeah, they have no idea. They have no clue. And then they ask me where I live, and then I go Hoboken, and then all of a sudden they're like the expert. They're like, Hoboken's in New Jersey, you liar. So I have this like obligation to like defend Hoboken, defend New Jersey, because I live in that state now.
Because you like it.
Yeah, well, I like it. It's fine. Hoboken's the thing. It's totally different than this. I've been trying to tell people all week that, like, since I've never been to Edison, that this is like, I feel like this is what people think New Jersey is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just highway after highway, hotel, convention center. It's not
and they're
good.
Really weird.
Yeah.
The street setups are strange.
You have to take a right to take a left.
Yeah, it's weird.
To take a U-turn, you have to go on another thing and then come around, and you're taking 5 turns just to do the thing that you could just whip around in any other state. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's strange. Luckily, I haven't had to do a lot of the driving
around
here.
This is not a reminiscent thing of New Jersey. I just need people to know that.
Yeah.
You said you just bought yourself a Prius.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Prius.
Oh God.
So in my head,
everyone has like.
I want to be a Prius driver. I do.
I think everybody does.
Yeah.
I think in everyone's head they want to be a Prius. So they was like, I like the idea. You know, Toyota's a great brand.
Yeah.
You know, those little motherfuckers don't die.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you because I've had them in my family forever.
Yeah.
My mom consistently got Toyota Camry
Right.
since '92, and that's all she'll get.
That was my second car. Was a 1992 Toyota Celica.
Yeah.
The motherfucker ran until, and we live in the Northeast, so it was just rusted out. So it ran into. I mean,
it
was
just like
running.
rusted apart.
Yeah, the engine was fine, but there was no body. There was no body left anymore.
Yeah, the engines will last forever.
Yeah.
So my decision on getting the car, because I found out that they have a bigger one, because everyone thinks about the Priuses and
they
they're tiny.
Have 3 models now.
Yeah.
The baby one,
the
the normal one, and then this huge one.
That's what I got. I got the big one. I went to the dealership and I was like, let me see the trunk. They opened up the trunk. I put down the seats and
did you get in it?
The trunk like this. I literally did this because I had a plan. I was like, I'm going to gypsy wagon this shit.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, I can fit a bed back here.
Yeah.
Sold.
No shit.
Wrap that bitch up. Let's take it to go.
No shit. I've been trying to figure out, this is my current project, is trying to figure out what vehicle I can get to turn into like a tour bus. I'm looking at old mail carrier trucks. I'm looking at old FedEx trucks. I'm looking at like little baby school buses. I'm looking at
I've been thinking about that stuff, kind of like almost like a mobile studio sort of thing. And so far, I'm landing on getting a decent truck, a Toyota truck, and then getting one of those campers that go on top of it. Because let's be real, camper engines suck. They break down. They're shitty. Right. So I was like,
and and here's the other thing is I don't need a toilet. Like on the road, I'm gonna go shit somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't want to shit and then carry it with me.
Yeah.
So all the campers, they have somebody's old bathroom in them. They have somebody's old. Like I'm not gonna cook. I just need a couple beds and like maybe like a little couch area to do podcasts, and that's what I need.
Yeah.
Campers are not the way. Everybody's just like, just buy an old camper.
No,
and like, absolutely not.
That thing will be broken more times than you will be using it, and the gas.
And I don't want somebody's old
terrible.
dirty bed, all that shit.
No.
So you're gonna get a truck, put the camper in the bed, and then have like go over the top of it.
Yeah, the carryover, and then I'll have just like a big camper in the back. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind having like the bathroom and stuff. Yeah. I need a shower, man. Yeah. I got a shower. And
why'd you say at that point you just get this? This was my. I met this guy when you live in New York City. You meet a lot of weird dudes, and I met a guy who ran this bar that we were running a show out of, and his trick when he moved to New York City, he was from someplace in the Midwest. He moved to New York City, and you could still live in a what's it called, a storage unit, because there wasn't like a lot of security. Right. So he paid $100 to live in the storage unit, and he just got a gym membership. So he paid $100 for the storage unit and $20 for the gym membership, and he would just go shower at the gym. So that's my plan in my head. Just get the gym membership. That's across the Planet Fitness across the country.
There's a good one, because I've been thinking about doing like the Planet Fitness or Anytime Fitness.
Yeah,
any one of those. That's actually a good idea. I also thought about the truck stops, and I was like, not for ladies.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I was like, I don't feel like that would be the safest environment. Granted, I'm sure I could take care of my own, but I'm just like, maybe sometimes I just don't want to be harassed.
Yeah.
So you're taking a shower, baby.
Yeah, you have another. Yeah, you do have another concern there that I don't have as much.
Hobo showers. Who said the sponge baths are only for old people?
Well, this is what I thought. This is the first time I ever thought I could be homeless, was when I was hanging out in Florida, because I kept seeing those homeless dudes, and I was like, I don't get it. And then I was like starting to do like the math in my head, and like there's just showers on the beach. Yeah. So that's my main. That was my main preoccupation with being homeless, was whether or not I could still shower.
Right.
So the showers on the beach. You could just shower in Fort Lauderdale and just be a homeless guy living on the beach, and you're not even homeless. You're actually you're
beach
just like
bum.
You're just fun guy.
Yeah, this guy hangs out on the beach, fucks with tourists all day.
He's always there, dude. I don't know where this guy lives. I live here.
When they're all gone, I sleep underneath the chairs. The cabanas are my kingdom.
I like it. I do like the idea a little bit of because I do travel so much. It's like a fantasy to me to own basically nothing. Like
minimalism.
Yeah, I have that thing. I have that like that Fight Club thing where like
you're a nomad. I'm a gypsy.
But I have that Fight Club thing where like I have this couch, and it's like now I bought this couch, and now I'm set on a couch for 10 years. You know what I mean? Yeah. Dude, in Fight Club, that was he was trying to get the main character out of this thing, because he kept collecting all this IKEA furniture, and he's like, I'm gonna have the whole set at the end of this thing, and like so I get stuck in that world where like I have this. It's like, but part of me wants to have none of it, so that I can just live free.
Yeah.
And not be tied.
Oh yeah, that's how I totally feel. Like I have like the one room and that's like my stuff, like most of my stuff. But I've been going through it. I'm like, I don't use this. I haven't used this in like 6 years. Like, why do I have it? Like, just throwing all this stuff away, keeping a few things for memories. You know, you gotta, and then like just bringing essentials, or like when you really think about it, like how much clothes do you really use? Right. Like, the most you need is like maybe 10 shirts. Yeah. That's it. Well, depending on how often you wash your clothes. Yeah. And then
I've come up with I'm like a cartoon character now. I've come up with a uniform. I bought 10 of the same shirt, and that's what I wear. Yep. When I'm on the road, that's what I wear. I just get 10 of the shirts, and I wear that. So then I don't have to think about it. Because sometimes you're in the fucking parking lot. You're trying to sit. There's no green room. You open up your trunk and you're digging through your bags. I go, fuck it. That's the shirt I wear every night on stage. Yeah. Clean one, but that's the shirt I wear.
It just makes it so much simpler. I've been like planning my outfits, and I've also started thinking like, oh, okay, so if I'm gonna wear anything, I'm going to wear Captain America, or I'm going to wear purple or pink, you know, just like things that I like. Yeah. So now my wardrobe has been condensed down to anything nerdy and like purple and pink, so everything goes together.
Once you streamline it.
Streamline the whole process.
Yeah. That's great. So
this
backdrop is your
my wrestling mats.
This fit in the Prius?
Yes, that was also part of it. Part of buying the Prius was to be able to get these in there.
It is interesting. So how did the dealership handle you laying in the back?
They just looked at me like I was weird.
Like, well, what's going on?
Like, what is this lady doing? And I had brought my friend to impersonate my fiance, because I was like, if I go in there like just me, they're gonna try to like fucking take advantage. You know, girl going to dealership. What does she know about cars? Right. I know more than most of my guy friends.
Right, of course.
And I brought him with me just to make it look like, you know, oh, she's got a guy, she's getting married, blah, blah, blah. But he didn't know shit. Yeah, I was like going over there, and the salesman's looking at him like, what is she doing? He's like, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing.
You talk to her, you don't talk to me.
Talk to her. I'm just here to look pretty, man.
Yeah, what did I do? What did I do that was weird? New York City, you didn't have to own a car for a long time. Then I started getting all these road gigs, so I was like, okay, I gotta get a car. And a lot of times when I do these road trips, like we did one to Alaska, so it was 4 dudes, and we were all in one car, and we drove to Alaska, and we take shifts, you know. So it was nice having the 4 people. So the first thing I was doing was, because I found out this is a problem, was like getting in the back seat of cars and seeing if I could even fit. Now I'm 5'10", 5'11", right? And there's some cars that I can't height-wise fit in, like the CLA, the Mercedes-Benz CLA, beautiful car, whatever.
Those cars aren't meant to be functional. Right, like, let's be real.
And you get this back seat, and I'm sitting back there, and my head is on the ceiling, which means if I hit a bump, everything on my neck is gone. And like one of the guys that I was traveling with at the time, one of them who in the rotation was like 6'7", and another guy is like 6'4". So it's like, I can't even buy this car because there's no place to I can't even put my friends in this car.
Right.
So that was an interesting, weird thing. So I kept showing up at like car shows and not sitting in the front seat. I would sit in the back seat, and people were just walking by me like, "What's this guy's deal?
What is he doing?"
He's like,
this is like sitting in the back seat. Like, who sits back there?
He's checking Uber. Was he checking for Uber? What's he doing? He's gonna Uber this car? So I'm
glad.
I don't
know what my passengers will feel like.
I'm glad that another person just goes and lays in the trunk of the car.
Just to find out. I'm just like, well, you know, when you don't have a tape measure, you
well, you know what you're trying to be in. That's funny, the body measurement thing. Every dude has a thing on his body that he knows how long it is. Like I always meet these guys who are like, well, this is 1 inch, and then they're like trying to measure shit. My father thinks he knows what his pace is, so we're like trying to measure shit. And he's like walking. He's like, well, let me walk, and he walks it. And he's like,
I actually did that.
He's like,
recently.
This is 25 feet. I'm like, you don't know that's 25 feet. He goes, yes, I do know exactly what my stride is.
Shit.
I know what my stride is. No, you don't. But yeah, every dude here they think, well, this is 12 inches right here. It's my foot.
It's a foot. It's 12 inches. Yeah.
I've been there.
It's a little different.
I've been there walking on the line trying to figure out how long a car is, whether I can.
Oh, how far I am from a curb to make sure I don't get a ticket.
Yeah,
That was me in Louisiana.
You're doing the 15 feet, right?
What is it? 18 feet?
You're looking up the law. Yeah, you're looking. You're like, I think I can fit here. Like, it's 13 and a half feet. I better move this thing.
I counted to 21 already, and I'm still not at the curb. I'm definitely safe.
Yeah.
You know, kind of
I didn't. What did I do in New York City? I think it's some absurd amount. It's like 15 or 16 feet, and so I go, and I guess I was, and I had a minivan for a weekend.
How are they measuring? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Where do they start from? Where do they end? And so I put this minivan in where I think is a normal spot, and I come back the next day, and I got a ticket, it's $300 ticket for. Fuck. And I was like, okay, and then in my head I go, oh, all right, well they ticketed me, so I'm done. on. They're not going to ticket me again. And like an idiot, so I just left the car because I'm like, I'm already $300 into this thing.
This spot is mine now. I own this.
Yeah, come back the next day, another ticket. And I was like, no, come on. I'm like writing letters to the judge. I'm like, it doesn't make sense that they would ticket me twice. You know what I mean? Like in my head.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Like at that point, you spent $300. That's like real estate for you right there. Yeah. Like I own this plot of land. I paid $300 for this motherfucker.
$600 was my rent at the time. I think, but then you got the guy that I've met a couple of these guys that are like the meter maid guys, and I bet as soon as the next day came, he was like at the spot sticking another ticket in there. I feel like
they're on commission.
I feel like they get commission. I do. Because I mean, there definitely is a tally of like what came in based on your write-ups. I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
There has to be there has to be some metrics to you actually doing your job as a meter maid.
This, and Paul got like the most write-ups this week.
And then there's
like congratulating him, but really he's just like the biggest asshole.
Right. And then Barbara's in the corner be like, well, I hate that motherfucker. I don't like Paul.
He's always right.
I don't like fucking
tickets.
Paul. Paul's a piece of shit.
He gave me 5 tickets last week.
Yeah, Barbara's getting tickets from her own coworkers. Yeah, that's funny. No, because I guess you could be on staff as the meter maid and just write 0 tickets.
Yeah.
Like if you don't care about your job and there's no
it's like I don't really want to be a dick. I'm just here to collect a paycheck.
Yeah, I know I'm getting 17 an hour. I may as well just sit and do this. Yeah, that's interesting. I get really upset when people don't like their job. Like today, I almost yelled at a
I'm
Dunkin'.
just like, why? Then stop doing it.
Don't do it. You don't have to do it.
You don't have to.
When I was a server, I loved doing it. I loved talking to the people. I loved giving them fucking. I was worked at a restaurant where this guy was on the cooking channel, so the food was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I was like guaranteed 20%. If I just talked to the people, I would get 30% tip, 40% tip, 50% tip. Oh, it was beautiful. I love that fucking job. Today I'm at Dunkin'. This woman's looking out the window and she goes, "I hope it rains. I hope it rains. I hope it rains." And I go, "Why do you want?" I'm like going through my head of why she would want it to rain. I go, "Why do you want it to rain?" She goes, "That slows down." I was like, "You don't have to work here." And then I stopped myself. I was like, I gotta get coffee here tomorrow. I don't want to get into this fight. It's like if it's a stranger.
Guy.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, he's coming in." You know.
Oh man, don't fuck with the people that make your food.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. I was in a situation once where we pull up to a drive-thru of like Taco Bell. It's like a 2 a.m. run. A buddy of mine, I don't know. He mind fucks me and the guy on the thing into thinking that I'm fucking with the guy. So like I order my food and then my buddy he just leans over and he goes, "Hey man, don't be a dick to the guy behind the thing." And then it became this weird thing where I think the guy thought I was being a dick and I didn't know if he thought I was being a dick. I don't know if I was a dick. And then I got the food. And then I was like, I don't trust this food. I can't even trust this food. I just throw it out. Because I was like, this guy probably spit my food. Because you made him think that I was fucking with him.
He probably put those fries on his balls and put them back in the cup.
Yeah. Because if you look at Taco Bell food, you look at it and you go, there's nothing in here that couldn't have just been picked off someone's body and shoved. You know, you can't tell. It all looks like the same thing.
Oh yeah, just like a mush in a taco. You're like, I hope they didn't spit it. Right, the worst part is if they did, you can't tell.
Right, that's what I mean. Yeah, you're looking at it. You're like, I don't know. Is that spit? Or is that guacamole or is that a booger? I don't even know.
You can't. I'll be like, in this one for guac.
There's no way to know because you just cram it in.
Yeah.
You can cram anything into refried beans and never
know. Never know. It would be like I could be poop.
No. It absolutely could be poop. All right, so let me ask you then. Since we're on that topic, I haven't eaten fast food probably in since that instance. So that's probably 7 or 8 years. What do you have a fast food that you put on the list that you're like, this is fine. I can do this one.
Actually, Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're usually because I can do the power menu bowl.
Yeah.
Which is just like a taco bowl kind of, but without the bread.
Yeah.
So like vegetables and chicken.
Just cram all the stuff in, they mix it up.
Yeah. So it's like $5 and it's basically like a chicken salad.
Yeah.
Almost. So. They're all right. I'd rather get one from Wawa. It's about the same thing, but they hardly ever have it available. I'm like, damn you, Wawa. I'd rather eat here.
That's what I found about Edison, New Jersey. There are no restaurants in this town that have any credibility at all. I keep putting it in the thing.
Oh, you know, like healthy stuff?
No. I'm just trying to eat at a restaurant where it's edible.
Yeah.
And I've gone to I've walked out of 3 different places already this weekend. So I put in Google, and I've never done it where I put in the ratings. And so I put in, it has to be over 4 rated, and it has to be within a 10-mile radius, and it has to be a food or restaurant. The second thing that came up was Wawa. And Wawa was higher rated than every other restaurant in Edison, New Jersey. I don't know what's
believe
going on in this
that.
town.
Wawa's pretty good. I like Wawa.
It is solid. It is a solid. It is. So the people I don't have Wawa up by me. So, but all the people that I met in college from Pennsylvania, fucking Wawa fanatics.
Oh yeah, I think it started around here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I know it definitely started in Philly.
I think it's a Philly thing.
Okay, because I know it definitely started in the north, and then it made its way down to Florida.
Yeah.
And when it made its way down to, like, I had already heard about it.
Yeah.
An ex-manager of mine went, and he became a general manager of one of the
Wawas.
Wawas, and he's like, you got to work here. You got to work here, blah, blah, blah. And I tried, I applied, and then I was like, I make way more money now. Like, I'm done having other people as my boss. Like, fuck that noise.
Yeah, once you get to that.
Yeah, now I'm at a point where I make my own money, and I'm in charge of myself, and I can travel as much as I want without being like, man, I really hope I get 3 days off this year, vacation. Like,
I'll ask somebody to hang out, and they're like, I gotta check my work schedule.
I gotta work.
I forget
that's like one of my best friends. Every time I'm like, what are you doing today? Working. I'm like, motherfucker, you aren't working 24/7.
Yeah.
Like, tell me what you're doing after work. Because at this point, I already know when he's fucking working. I'm just like, what about after
Well,
work?
I'm fucking going home, watching reality television and passing out.
I'm watching some Netflix and passing out.
Eating
Maybe
a jar
I'll have
of
a
peanut
beer.
butter.
I'm like, oh, God, that sounds so boring.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I didn't realize how big of a problem I have with my independence until it was like 2 weeks ago. It was me, my brother, and my father. We were going to go visit. Well, it was me and my little brother. We were going to go visit my grandfather, so my dad's dad. And he wasn't doing anything, so he's like, I'm going to go with you. He's like, I'll drive. He's got a bigger car than me. And I go, all right. And then I got really really uncomfortable and claustrophobic for a second. I was like, I'll just drive. I'll just meet you over there. Because I basically live out of my car. I know I have everything. It's like I got to change of clothes. I got to change a shirt. I got whatever. Yeah. So I couldn't even get in the car with him not knowing what he's going to want to do after visiting my grandfather. And this is my family. This is people I want to hang out with anyway. And because I wasn't going to get to make the decision, I freaked out.
Yeah, there's a certain level of control. I feel like I got. That's why I wanted the car as well, because I don't like the idea of having to fly everywhere. Yeah. Then I have to deal with all that bureaucratical bullshit. Yeah.
And then the people that are next to you.
Oh, and then sitting like this.
Yeah.
For I don't know how long. It's always more than an hour, this, all in the middle, all scrunched up next to somebody that's always bigger than me, always.
Yeah.
And it's just Got the car. I was like, I'll drive.
It's not bad.
Fuck
it's
it.
not a bad drive.
I'd rather drive, and then you get to see all this really
stop?
cool shit just driving anywhere.
Yeah, where'd y'all stop on the way up?
Atlanta. I love Atlanta.
Awesome.
Love Atlanta. It's like my favorite city. I'm thinking about that. Eventually, I will go live there for like maybe a year.
No
just
shit,
just because I've been in Tampa forever.
Atlanta's crushing it right now.
Yeah.
It's great.
Oh yeah, and then there's work for me there, which is great.
Yep.
And I already have a lot of friends. I'm like, well, why not? If I could move anywhere, I definitely want to move to Atlanta. And I wanted to move to Puerto Rico, but there's like things going on.
Yeah, there may or may not be a Puerto Rico right now.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a little bit. I hate it. And this is the selfishest thing that I can use as to be against natural disasters is like when Katrina hit and fucked up New Orleans. I was like, yo, I haven't been to New Orleans yet, Katrina. Are you gonna fuck
what
up?
What are you doing?
Fucking up this city? I've never been to Puerto Rico. You're gonna fuck up Puerto Rico? I almost went to Puerto Rico and you fucked it up. Like, I've never been to Houston. Now you fuck up Houston? Are you kidding me?
I don't think I want to go.
So now I got to put things on my list that are like going to be hurricane places because I'm like, this might not be there. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
I have no idea. So yeah, I had almost gone to Puerto Rico in January. Like I was like right on the cusp of doing it, and now it's like.
Yeah, it's like 16% of the island has electricity. Yeah. Like I'm barely communicating with my friends out there. Yeah,
it's just gonna be a completely different place. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a steady go-to for me. I was going to Puerto Rico every year in May for like the last 5 years for the Puerto Rico Comic Con. Which is really fun.
Yeah.
They're just like really enthusiastic. I go there like, oh, American cosplayer. They get really excited.
Yeah.
So it's really fun, and the island's beautiful.
Yeah.
The people are great. Super friendly. Yeah. So I'm thinking about doing a calendar, and all proceeds go to help Puerto Rico.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because I want to do something. I want to do something like as much as I want to go over there and physically do something. I'm like, I think I'd do better like collecting money, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna do something because I really want to help.
It's tough, especially in this day and age, where especially because we keep hearing these news stories where it's like you give something to a particular charity, and then you hear facts that like half that money doesn't even make it to where it's supposed to go. And you're like, what am I even supposed to do? I was like, do I just fucking
like, do I go over
do I
there?
just
I want to work on the power lines.
do I just find my buddy and I just mail him a pocket full of money? Like, like what's the thing? How am I supposed to? How do I help?
That this money is actually being used to help anybody? Because I'm like, is Puerto Rico even really getting help? They're not really talking about it that much.
Right. Well, and then Trump's going around telling everybody that they're just blowing through money. That's his.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm shocked.
He's that's what he's telling everybody.
But there's money to build a wall.
Right. Right. So the whole thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a whole world. So you were in Tampa. You didn't get hit with any of the weather that
we got hit by Irma.
I
mean, it was about like a category 2-1.
Yeah. Okay.
By the time it hit. Shortly after it hit where I was staying.
Did you just bunker down?
Huh?
What'd you do, bunker down?
Oh, man, I have stories. I spent a great hurricane because in Florida, when hurricanes are about to hit, it's a party.
Yeah.
It's a party. We're just like, hurricane coming. We're like, it's going to rain.
Yeah.
We're just like really whatever about it. But when Irma started coming up, and it was like a category 4, some people started like freaking out a little bit. And I was like a little bit like, hey, Mom, maybe we should think about preparing my grandmother's place because like her place floods a lot.
Right.
And she's like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We haven't had a hurricane hit since God knows when. It's always been tropical storms or tropical depressions, whatever.
Yeah.
And they are honestly weaker than our thunderstorms.
Right.
Thunderstorms in Tampa, outrageous.
Right.
They are dangerous. They're like little hurricanes.
Yeah.
So Hurricane Irma came by. We were staying with a friend of ours, and then instantly the electricity went out.
Yeah.
But before all that, I found out that the Bay Shore, like this is like an area, Tampa, they just have where the bay is, and all the water got sucked out.
Oh,
so
no
like
shit.
for yards, you look over, and there's just like no water. I was like, I gotta go check that out.
Yeah.
So me and my friend, we get in a car and we drive down the Bay Shore. Like the hurricane is over us.
Yeah.
And there's nobody on the road.
Yeah.
I'm driving down the Bay Shore and I'm like, let's go check it out. Let's go check it out. And like no water.
So the beach is just sucked
gone.
out.
Just gone.
Oh, it's crazy.
Freaking gone. People were walking out there. It was crazy. I was like, I gotta see this.
You're like
It's probably like once in a lifetime.
Yeah, you're like past the
opportunity.
pier and shit. You're just out there. Oh, that's
took some
cool.
pictures and stuff. Came back. Electricity was gone, so we went to go stay at a friend of mine's house. And he had a porch.
Yeah.
So I decided, I was like, you know what? I want to really enjoy this hurricane. So I decided to sleep on the porch in the
While
middle while the hurricane is like flipping around. I can hear like trees breaking, lines snapping and stuff.
That's crazy.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun. I got like mildly wet because, sleeping outside.
Yeah.
And then the next day we're like, let's go assess the damage. And wake up like 7 o'clock in the morning driving around. Ooh, that tree's down.
There's something crazy about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't a lot of damage, but it was definitely felt in Tampa. And as people started cleaning up from the hurricane, you could see like piles of branches and debris. Like that's how you could tell how hard the hurricane hit in certain parts of Florida.
Right. Yeah. The only thing I had like that, we had this crazy blizzard in New York, and they shut down. It's the only time they've shut down the New York City's transportation system in the time that I've been in New York for 12 years here. And so we just went on like the main street in Brooklyn, and we were just walking. It was just ice and snow. The sidewalks were so fucked up that you couldn't even walk. It was just ice and snow in the middle of the street. We were just walking down the middle of the street. It was crazy. And everybody just stayed inside because it was so cold out. Mm-hmm. But it was just like this crazy. It was like I Am Legend. You're just like, there's just no people. How is there no people? This is the middle of Brooklyn. This is the busiest street in Brooklyn. Yeah. And it's just because there's whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was. Like during the hurricane, I was driving around. There was nobody. Yeah. Nobody on the road. I was like, the stop signs mean nothing.
Yeah, that's great.
Driving like a crazy person. Cool. I was like, this is fucking like an apocalypse or something. Everyone's all really hunkered down and hiding. I was like, I'm gonna go embrace the chaos.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like weathermen are doing this thing now, and I guess they have to, because if you say nothing's gonna happen and then Irma happens, you're fucked. So they make all these storms, the biggest, craziest, no power, cancel school, all the thing, and then when they don't hit, nobody ever fires the weatherman, which I think is weird. I think these people should lose their jobs.
They like suck at their job.
Yeah, they're like, it's gonna be fucking chaos, and then nothing happens, and they're like,
then
well,
they have like 5 different ways to predict
Yeah,
where the storm's going, but they're like,
he's like, well, it's Mother Nature. What can I say?
What can I fucking do? We got basically a guy that can't interpret nature telling us what it can maybe do. And we're like, I can tell you what it's gonna maybe do. It's gonna maybe hit us or maybe not.
Yeah, and the sensationalism of it is actually what drives the success.
Oh yeah, that's it was nuts in Florida.
Water
was gone. Nobody could find water, and I'm like, did everyone forget we have tap?
Yeah,
it's like everyone forgot that we have completely drinkable, potable water that comes out of our houses.
Yeah,
as if we're a fucking third
They're
world
running
country
around trying to buy
bottled water, and I'm just like, if you've got jugs and stuff, just fill them up. Yeah, fill up, and then now you have your water. You don't have to like scramble around and like kill people over bottles of water in the store. It was nuts.
You're knocking over grandmas.
Oh, and then you could tell like what people really like going through the stores. Like, oh, everyone got all these soups. Nobody wants tomato soup.
Yeah,
all the tomato soup left over.
That's funny. Yeah, I guess because in people's heads, there's none of the other crap. There's none of the crap. Tomato soup's probably the healthiest one, actually.
Yeah, I love me some tomato soup.
There's no big hunks of potato.
Oh yeah, you got it.
We don't want this soup. Tomato soup's probably the way to go, actually.
Yeah. I already had a whole bunch of stuff already.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm ready. I was like, oh, you know what? I might be one of those like survivalist nut jobs.
Yeah,
I've already had all the waters already prepped up. I was like, even before Irma came.
Yeah, I love that. Hurricane ready.
Yeah.
That seems like a fun Twitter handle to have. Yeah. So this is here.
Yeah.
In the hotel room. What were you doing with this mat?
I was doing wrestling sessions. So people will pay me to beat them up.
So they'll come here and you just fuck them up.
And I just fuck them up.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. That's great.
Yeah, people like to get fucked up.
Have you ever reached that mark? And this is just as a civilian, I was with a girl who wanted me to punch her in the face during sex, and for me that was beyond what I was capable. And we were in a relationship, you know what I mean? It's like we were saying I love you to each other, and I had to rethink everything that I'm gonna do moving forward because I know that if I go that route, then that's the thing that I'm gonna have to be a part of for the rest of my life. You can't just punch somebody, come, and then not do that next time. You have to do that next time, every time.
Every
right?
time. Like, so that's what really gets me.
Has anybody ever asked you, or have you gotten to that mark where you're like, I'm not doing that. I'm just not going to do that?
I mean, when I was younger, there were certain things. I was with a guy that was really into feet, and this is very, very fucking common. And I was just like, it weirded me out. Yeah. It really weirded me out. But, I got older and I started understanding these things, and it was just more like it is a product of being like taught to be distant towards the weird or hateful or closed off and stuff like that. And it was basically like kind of like a form of kink shaming. Yeah. And like, I mean, here's my partner who I've been with for several years that wants me to do something that he enjoys. Yeah. And for me to feel weird about it, it's like it shouldn't be that way. Right. It should be more like I should be happy to give that to him. But it felt strange for me. But now I understand that a little bit more. Yeah. Now that speaks to like how we're taught and how we view sexuality as this secret. It's like it's our thing. It's our all thing. Taboo. It's behind closed doors. It's whatever. And I think that porn's getting to this dangerous place where porn possibly is better than sex for a lot of people because they feel like they can't ask their partner for that thing, but they'll go look it up on the internet. And they're like, oh, well, nobody can watch. Nobody's seeing me. Yeah, it's all private. Right. Rather than just say to the person. Fucked up shit. Yeah, whatever. And, or whatever. It's not fucked up, right? Because it's what that person desires, and they desire it so much because they can't get it. Yeah, fucked up in the terms of like what normal people would be like, oh, that's too weird or something. Like, I mean, I would probably draw the line on any kind of poo play. Sure. Like, I'm just like, sure. I think no. I used to have this. I don't think it was a bit. I think it was a riff one night because it just came out of the crowd. Somebody was talking about this, and I because I know that there's a progression in all sex that you like. You don't go right into just pooping on somebody. So like I was like trying to figure out what are the lead-in steps like lay under a coffee table, like lay under the glass coffee table, and you're like I'm just gonna shit. You tell me how you feel. You're like what are the like how do you tiptoe into that one?
That's the one I never understood.
Dang, I hadn't thought about that,
right?
but you know
like,
what?
Oh
like,
no,
okay,
I feel great. Here, move the glass.
Move the glass. I'm ready for the real thing.
Right.
You prepped me. Go put Saran wrap on the body. How does it feel with the Saran wrap?
Right.
Too warm. Too warm. All right, we'll skip this for
I'm
now.
gonna wear the hazmat
We'll
suit.
revisit next week.
Poke holes in the hazmat suit. Okay, now what do we do? Yeah, that's so poop play. I like how there's always
it's always play.
like a really fun little easy way to say poop play.
Golden shower,
right.
poop play. Water sports.
Water sports. Yeah, they've
Put little fun names on them.
Yeah, they've figured out how to downplay it. Yeah, what was this? What was I watching? Oh, I was watching one of these survival shows, and on the Discovery Channel, every time they find poo from another animal, they're calling it scat, and it's different shows and guys from different parts of the world. So I realized last night that there's no way that just this guy from who was in the U.S. military and this guy from Australia who was on a show 10 years earlier. There's no way that they both just call all shit scat.
Yeah.
This is a thing where the producers of Discovery have decided that shit is called scat.
Yeah.
Because that's what can make it on television. So they go, oh, this is
but
poop.
you can't call it poop because then you call it poop and people start laughing.
Or they're just like, I can't watch this show. It's all about poop. And he's like, I'm pretty sure that this is bear scat. And you're just like, why are you using the word scat? What a weirdo.
It dumbs it down and makes it more acceptable. It's okay.
Word.
It's not shit. It's not poop. It's scat.
I'm just gonna call
all the same.
I'm just gonna start using scat in regular conversations too.
It's like, why are you saying scat?
I interviewed a freak.
That's hilarious.
I interviewed Freak Show yesterday, and she's got this daily poo thing that she does for her fans. So she'll take a shit and she'll take a picture of her taking the shit or a video or whatever. She calls it daily poo, which I think is hilarious. And that's what a lot of dudes we just do that. We just send each other
pictures
of
poo. We're like, dude, check this one out. It's probably like a foot long.
right. Yeah. Or even just us taking a dump, right? Most of my social media catch up is when I'm taking a dump. Let's be honest. So if I just call it
gotta follow that.
like Sunday Scat Day or something would be fun. It's a fun little
Sunday
hashtag.
Scat Day.
Scat Day Sunday.
You can scat while you're scatting.
Yeah. Scat.
The scatting scat.
Scatty McScat scat. So you have this machine over here. This is I've seen this on the what's it called? The documentaries.
Ooh.
I'm not a very avid weed smoker. I find that the quality of weed is far superior to my ability to smoke weed at this point.
Oh, you haven't caught up with
I'm a one-hit chump. Like if people are like, "Oh, you get it's hash oil," and you take a hit, and
I'm my dude, they have things now
it's
that
too much.
They'll take flour and then they'll put wax on it, and then they'll put keef on the wax, and then they'll roll that, and then they'll put stuff on the outside. I'm just like,
above my pay grade.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot, and I mean, I've gotten to a level where I'm usually higher than most.
Yeah,
like, extreme pothead. But I've met some people that smoke more than me, and I'm like, how?
How do you do it?
How do you do it?
Yeah.
How do you do it? Like, how do you even get high?
How do you? Yeah, right. Well, yeah, that's what I wonder is if the tolerance goes up.
So I just like different ways, and that's one of the things that I enjoy about cannabis is because there are so many different ways. Yeah. You can blunt, joint, pipe. Vaporizer, which is what that is.
This is a vaporizer.
That's a $500 piece of equipment.
And this was one of the original rounds of this. They came up with the process before people were doing little vape pens and all that other bullshit.
Yeah.
This is like a technological wonder. So this, I mean, I don't know if you guys aren't familiar with it. It looks like a blender, and
it's literally shaped like a volcano. Like the name says, it's a volcano, and it's an oven.
Yeah.
It just blows out hot air
into a bag.
Blows hot air through the cannabis, and then it catches it in the back. So then you got all the THC vapor, and no heat, no fire. So it's just pure vapor. It's still gonna make you cough like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and then so you hit it, and then you basically just crumple up the bag.
Yeah, all the air will come out of the bag, and you get high as fuck.
So is that your preferred method of
I mean, that's like
smoke?
home method.
Yeah.
Because I can't, let's be real, I can't be driving around,
I
hitting that.
wonder if they have the car volcano. I don't know how much power it sucks. I bet it blows all the fuses in the car.
It's got the 3 prongs on it, so it's no joke.
It's a grounded plug. I don't know. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's pretty serious.
So that's cool. So but you because you have the Prius, you could travel with it.
When I stay in the hotels, and I mean, it doesn't leave smell.
Sure.
Like
that's
smoking a joint or a pipe. And there's
such good weed going around the convention this weekend that you
walk by, you're just like.
No, I did. I had what did I do? I had I was hanging out with some people that have been on the podcast and this and that, and then and they're gone. I come back to my car in the morning. We didn't even smoke in the car. They just had it in the car. And I come back in the morning and I smell, and like my car still smells like weed because it's just having it.
So potent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't smell it at all.
In jars.
I didn't smell any of it in here. It's great. I'm impressed. That's why.
That is because I actually been smoking the pipe in here too.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
Because I saw the little plastic on the metal detector or the fire.
Was that like that when you got here?
Yeah.
That was like that in in somebody else's room too. That this is like I don't know what's going on, but I guess people figured it out.
I told them non-smoking room, and then I saw that, and then I saw the ashtray. I was like, so this is a smoking room,
right?
Regardless, I don't care.
There was an ashtray in here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was clean, but I was
sometimes, I don't know. So Edison, because it is such a convention center kind of place, I find that
is that like the only thing going for the city?
I think it is. I think it is because you need to have like just boatloads of hotels in the area, and so I found because I've been to a bunch of them this weekend doing the podcast, and I find that generally speaking, it's a little bit of a older set of hotels or whatever, and then there's a lot of drop ceilings,
this one's
whatever.
Definitely one of the older ones.
So it's like
so I got a decent price on it, but geez,
for them
they could clean a little bit more.
That's what I mean.
Please.
That's what I mean. You come in and you're like your table looks like it's gonna break, but you're gonna ask me not to smoke in here. Like, let's be honest.
Let's be real. They put like 3 tables in here.
Yeah, that's
the furniture that was outside.
Yeah, that's what I came. You guys took all the stuff out. I thought it was like, well, you were obviously doing this, but also, I didn't realize they had this many pieces of furniture. They had
like 3 tables and 3 chairs, and it was all set up really strange. And I'm like, why? It's like they used the room for storage, and they just put extra shit in here. And the guy's looking at me like, what are you doing? I was like, there's too many. I don't need 5 tables, dude. I don't need all these tables.
You only got one bed. Why do I need 5 tables? That's crazy. Yeah, that's funny.
I was like, you really want to put something in here? Give me a microwave or a fridge.
Right, yeah. But maybe in their head they were like, you know what this hotel room's missing?
Another table.
If we set this place up for 4 tables and 9 chairs, we will corner the market.
On rooms with too many tables.
Right, they just put it on the website, 9 chairs and 4 tables in every room. And you're like, bro, this is incredible.
This is exactly what
This is what I've been looking for years. And it's never the case. Every time I go to a hotel room, I call them, I ask if I can get another table. I don't understand. I understand why it's a big fucking problem. I get another table in here. That's funny. All right, well, we're at the mark where I think people, have had enough listening to people.
Yeah.
40 to 45 minutes, I think, is the threshold for a good podcast. So that's where we're at. How do they find you on the internet? It seems like you've consolidated with the same. The same name.
Luckily, that was part of the process because I did have a different model name that no one could spell, no one could pronounce,
right?
And I was like, I need to change it.
You're like, fuck that.
Like, if I'm gonna keep doing this, I gotta change it. So I found Miss Gia Love. I really didn't want to do 3 because everyone's just gonna call me Gia anyways. Everyone does. Everyone just calls me Gia. But Miss Gia Love, Twitter, Instagram took it from me, so I don't have Miss Gia Love on Instagram.
So what did they do?
A gratuitous. What did
they do? They blocked you?
They took the username. They just deleted the whole account. They deactivated the whole account.
And then when you go to put it back in or re-register, they say the username is taken?
Yeah, it says that the account is deactivated.
Wow.
It's deactivated. I've been thinking about messaging them again, but I'm like, I changed it to Mistress.
Yeah.
So it's now Mistress Gia Love on Instagram. Okay. But the easiest way is just Google Miss Gia Love. You'll find my Instagram, my Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, and any and all of it.
Cool. Tumblr, Twitter, classmates.com. Pinterest? You have a Pinterest?
Good God, no. I don't have time for that. That is a giant waste of time.
I pulled up Pinterest because I was doing this thing when I was trying to do campers. So the first version.
Look, it's like dreaming. That's what Pinterest is for.
The first version of me trying to do a camper was the people next door to me are an ambulance crew, and they had an ambulance. They got donated to them that didn't fit their specs, and I was going to buy this ambulance on them, and I was trying to figure out stuff. So I was in my head, I was like, I was going to be the campulance. It's great. And so I went on Pinterest and I started looking at the problem with Pinterest is like the things that other people have done are always gonna way supersede what you've done. So then I kind of get bummed out.
Yeah,
it's like there are some incredible.
Like, have you seen the Pinterest fails?
No.
Oh, there's like a whole other category where everybody tries to do the things that they've seen on Pinterest and fail
that's
terribly.
Hilarious. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Because they always look so good. Yeah. It's kind of like, that picture of the Whopper, and then you get to Burger King. Kind of.
It's got a knuckle
just like
print in it.
Slapped on the bun, like sauce oozing off the side. You're like, this is not what I expected.
Because the guy at the counter is looking out the window going, please rain. Please rain. Fucking Christ. All right, well, check out Gia Love on the internet.
On the Google
this
Miss
is a
Gia
thing
Love.
that I didn't know was a problem, but now it's been a consistent conversation, which is the way you get your porn might be wrong. You might, if you're not paying somewhere on the internet for your porn, chances are that
you're killing the industry.
that performer has not gotten paid for it. So please pay for your porn.
Please
that's the little PSA. And especially at this day and age, it's so easy.
You like your porn, support your porn.
And if you have a particular performer, it's so easy to be able to support that performer directly.
Yeah, we're open to communicating with fans and having you guys be a part. Yeah, because we want to listen to fans. I am always open to fan suggestions on what they'd like to see.
Yeah, just like anything else, just like comedy, just like
and
this.
And also, I'm available
it keeps you in
for
business.
Yeah, I'm also
and if you
available
want to get
for
your
custom
ass
videos.
kicked.
And if you want to get your ass kicked, you think you can take me on? You can't. Bring it. Find me on any of the social medias. I have my email posted everywhere. Miss Gia Love at Hotmail. I'm using Hotmail.
Oh, shit.
Don't judge
Old school,
me.
old school.
I tried to get MSN. I couldn't find it.
Old school.
Yeah. Miss Gia Love at hotmail.com. If you think you can take me.
Go for it. Take it. As far as the podcast, the Porn Stars Are People podcast, we're on iTunes, we're on Google Play, we're on Stitcher, wherever you found us. We're also on the other thing that you may or may not use. We have a fun video from today on YouTube, so check that out. On Vimeo. We're going to try to give you good content whenever we can. We try to interview all the right people in the industry, guys and girls. If you have some suggestions, please let us know. Thank you again to my guest, Gia Love. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody listening out there, be safe.
All right.